Good morning, class! That was really weird. Alright. Hey guys. View88 here with Brick Jedi. And today we're going to be doing a movie review. Yay! The movie is Star Wars The Complete Saga, the prequel. The next part will be the original trilogy, but this is the prequel trilogy.
Okay. So, first we will be reviewing
Yeah,
Phantom
take it out.
Menace, Episode 1. And here we have the Complete Saga. And basically what Phantom Menace is about is it starts off the whole saga. Well, it takes place after the original trilogy, of course. And it's where you're getting to know Anakin.
Yeah, it was made after the original
Yeah.
trilogy, but
Yeah.
it's based before it.
And basically what it's about is Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon find Anakin, and then there's pod race, and then they're after Darth Maul, and then Jar Jar is annoying, and then I don't know.
They just have a huge fight at the end.
The Naboo battle.
Huge fat
fight.
Huge fat.
Battle of Naboo, which is pretty cool, but the Gungans are weird.
Alright, so your opinion.
My opinion.
And your and how many stars you would give the film?
Out of 5.
Out of 10, actually.
Out of 10?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that it's probably my least favorite Star Wars movie, but for a while it was my second to least favorite, but now it's my least favorite because I really like Jango Fett from Episode 2. I'll get into that later. And I think the thing that makes Phantom Menace bad is that
Jar Jar.
yeah, not just Jar Jar, but it's just, in my opinion, boring. And there's not that many cool characters. The battle with Darth Maul is great, though.
Yeah, the only two characters I would say are pretty cool in this film, Darth Maul and the young Obi-Wan, the Padawan Obi-Wan, but yeah.
Out of 10 stars, I'd probably give it... I love all the Star... Is the scale based off movies ever or Star Wars type of movies?
They're just movies.
Just movies in general. I'd probably give it 7.5.
Nice.
And
if it was just based on Star Wars, what would you give the star? Give it a rating of?
probably 6.
Okay.
And Darth Maul is probably what makes the movie really good. And
yeah,
the
he's an awesome character.
Yeah.
All right. So Brick Jedi just gave the little spiel of what the movie was, so I don't have to say that. But I'll say it the next one. What I would say about this movie was, yeah, I like the final battle between Darth Maul, Qui-Gon, and Obi-Wan. I thought Qui-Gon dying was kind of sad, even though I'm not a huge fan of Qui-Gon. I just thought it was kind of an emotional part of the film for a lot of fans, because Qui-Gon's kind of a popular Star Wars character.
Yeah, he died too fast.
Yeah. But Obi-Wan, I like Obi-Wan, the Padawan Obi-Wan. I like him. Yeah, I would say it's kind of a boring film, just because there's not too much excitement happening.
Yeah.
There's a little excitement, but otherwise it's kind of crappy, and there's not too much excitement going on in the film.
I wish Darth Maul lasted more than one movie.
Yeah, and I wish he I wish he was more like an Episode 2 as well. But that didn't really happen. Anyway, out of 10 stars for a regular film, it's hard. Maybe a 6. Around there, 6 or 7. And for Star Wars, probably 6 or a 7 as well. So, all right. Anything else you want to say about Episode 1 or no?
I think the Gungans are just weird, and they're not that great characters, and Watto's annoying. There's a lot of annoying characters in that movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of annoying characters in the prequels, but... Alright. So, Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. the whole spiel about this film, really, it's based about, I don't know, maybe 9 years later, because I remember Anakin's 20 years old in this film. Anakin was a kid that they met in the first film. He becomes a Padawan in this film. Well, he doesn't become a Padawan. He's already a Padawan by this film.
Not much happens in the first movie.
Yeah. In this one, they kind of... There's this whole spiel about these clones.
Yeah.
That's why they call it Attack the Clones.
It's beginning of the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
It's sort of the Clone Wars. The movie is like the Clone Wars.
Yeah, but it's like the beginning of it.
Yeah.
And there's like a lot of characters introduced in this film. There's a lot of Jedis that are introduced in this film.
Yeah.
Like Kit Fisto never showed up in the first film. I don't even know how to pronounce her name, Alia Sakura or whatever, however you pronounce her name. She shows up in this film. There's not too much to say about this film, like story-wise, because it's just like they're traveling along, and all of a sudden this Clone Wars starts, and
Battle of Geonosis.
yeah, and then Anakin gets a robotic arm because of the Sith Lord Count Dooku.
Lots of duels in that movie.
Yeah, in my opinion, I would say, actually, I think, Star Wars Episode 1 was probably my least favorite. So this is probably my second to least favorite. I would give it... I mean, I like a couple characters, I think. Mace Windu's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like Mace Windu.
Obi-Wan here.
Yeah, the Obi-Wan from Episode 2 is awesome. Jango Fett. Jango Fett's really cool. Count Dooku, I would say he's fine. He's not, like, awesome, but he's, like... cool, I guess, and that's really the characters I like from this film. But out of 10 stars for a regular film, I'll give it a 5. Maybe not a 5 because I gave the last one a 6. Maybe like a 7, 6.5. And then for Star Wars, same thing, 6.5. So, What would you say about Attack of the Clones? What is your whole spiel?
I think there's a lot of characters and different battles to the movie. There's the beginning part where with Zam Wessel and that whole speeder scene. There's the whole thing at Jango Fett's place where it introduces everything. There's Battle of Geonosis, duel with Count Dooku. So lots of stuff that happens in it. Like you said, I like Obi-Wan is probably my favorite in this movie.
What about Jango?
And yeah, I know. And then Jango is probably my favorite character right now. So that's why it's not my least favorite. I really like him. I sort of like him better than Boba Fett right now.
Yeah, Boba's...
Even though I like the original trilogy much better. But this one's really cool. I love the gunship. It's a pretty boring storyline, as with the first two movies. But there's lots of cool battles and characters.
Yeah.
So, for a regular movie, I'd give it a 7. For a Star Wars movie, I would give it a 7.
Alright, Episode 3,
Now,
your turn.
Revenge of the Sith, Episode 3. This is this is the only prequel movie that I love. It's probably...
It's the darkest and the one...
It's the darkest.
And it's the only one that's rated PG-13.
Right. It's the only one that's rated PG-13. And Battle of Mustafar is one of the best...
Yeah, it's one of the most memorable.
In my opinion, my second favorite battle of all time. It's just great. The lava, and I just love how graphic it is and how he's burned, and then Palpatine gets him. So, as I said, basically what happens is... It's just more with the story progressing, the characters progressing, but Palpatine, when he sees that his parents died, he starts to turn the dark side.
Okay.
And then...
That's in Episode 2.
Well, yeah, Episode 2.
When his mom dies. But
Right. And then in this movie, he starts to...
He transforms into the dark side in this movie.
He starts to transform, and Palpatine really turns him over with Palpatine's arrest. Special effects in that are weird. That battle's okay. But, as I was saying, Palpatine executes Order 66.
Which is kind of
yeah,
sad, really sad.
Yeah, which is basically what that is when all the clones turn against the Jedi. They kill the younglings. Everything just goes bad, and then
Anakin goes to his happy place.
Yes, he just goes on a rampage. And what makes this movie great to me is how dramatic and intense and emotional it is, and just him transforming and sort of ties everything together. And just love the characters, and battles are great and everything. So and the regular movie rating, I'd give it a 9. And Star Wars rating, I'd give it a 9.2.
Cool. Many of the things I do agree with, actually. Yeah, it is probably my favorite prequel movie. I haven't really seen it in a long time, though, so... But yeah, it's probably my favorite prequel movie. I mean, I like Attack of the Clones just because the characters, but the storyline's kind of crappy. But yeah, and I would probably give it the same rating as Brick Jedi. So anyway, guys, that's the prequels. The next review is going to be about the original trilogy, which is our favorite of the Star Wars films.
By far.
Yes, it's definitely really classic, and it's like...
Most people like the prequels and the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Around our age, but I don't like it.
I think the classics are not the classics. The original trilogy is definitely classic, and it's like, you know, I don't think anyone really hates those, even though they might not think it's their favorite ones.
Yeah.
I don't think really anyone hates them.
Yeah.
So anyway, guys, see you in the next review, and anything else to say before we go to the next review?
I think that's pretty much it.
Alright, guys. May the Force be with you.